record this as well. Okay, it's recording. And I'll get back. Okay. Okay. So we want to be looking at each of these points and making notes on these things. And this is what I mean by research. You've got to look at the UK and find out about their world-class facilities. Now they're called high performance centres. All the information is on those websites that I put, like especially UK sport. The way sport is organised in the UK, it's on like basically 3 levels. You've got UK sport, which is at the top. Now UK sport, and I provided the link to that website, they're responsible for the opportunities for sports performers to reach the podium, as they call it. In other words, medal opportunities. So here you're talking about the elite level performers, those who are going to be competing in the Olympics and are at the top of their field. That's UK sport. You're going to, moving down a level, we've got the Sport England, okay, or the home councils. Sport England, Sport Scotland, Sports Wales, Sports Ireland, Northern Ireland. And each of those organisations are responsible for participation in sport in their country. So Sport England, responsible for the participation in sport in England. And that's from young, like sort of teenagers up to through adulthood. So the provision of organised competitive sport, etc., funding opportunities for clubs, that's all done by Sport England. And at the bottom of the rung, you've got for the youth, you've got the Youth Sports Trust. So those are the 3 levels. Youth Sports Trust for the kids and teenagers, introducing, getting involved in sport and moving up to the first level of kind of competition and participation. Then you've got Sport England, if we're looking at England specifically, and then finally UK sport, which takes over for the elite athletes. And within UK sport, they have this information about what world-class facilities they have available for the athletes. They have information about sports science and other high-tech support that they have. Suitable regular competitions against other high-level performers, that will be talked about in terms of competition and the competition calendar. Coaching, that's quite important as well. What is the coaching system in the UK? How are coaches developed? Is there a coaching program? This is what I mean by research. This is what you've got to find out. Look at what the information is on these websites about coaching. And the holistic approach, that's the kind of all-round developing approach to excellence, taking into account everything, okay? Education, provision of facilities, coaching, everything together to produce top athletes. On the next slide, we're talking about sporting excellence within the individual, so self-esteem and some links to that, the actual individual, what they need. And all right, so this question has appeared in at least within the last 5 years 3 times in one form or another. It's quite a common question. So using country of choice, describe the policy, provision and administration which is in place to ensure that excellence in sport is achieved. The mark scheme has got 14 points mentioned on it. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you would have to, it's a 6-mark question, but you're looking at mentioning, if it says in the exam question, policy, provision, administration, you've got to tackle those points. So under policy, you've got to make reference to the beliefs and values of a country and the status of elite sport. So this is an opinion that you form, the first one. From what you can find out and you can read, is sport taken seriously in the UK? That's the kind of question you've got to answer here. You've got to form an opinion yourself. I believe it is, and I think that they're taken seriously. I mean, the build up to 2012 in London, the amount of promotion they do, the improvement of school sport, competitive sport, it's well structured in the UK. There's a lot of kind of focus put on top athletes. They're given knighthoods, OBEs, whatever. They're given media slots. There's a lot of, role models are created. So the status of elite sport is quite high in the UK. Whether that filters all the way down to lower levels is a different matter, like how it's seen at school or even the general population. Now you can find this information out. This is again the research thing. There's participation studies. The amount of participation, studies done to show who's active in the UK, percentage of males, percentage of females, age groups, etc., and what their views are towards sport and activity. Right, government initiatives. The government initiatives, now I've put quite a few little links up here at the top. Now, I click on this one, for example. This one here is from the government gov.uk site. It's a publication that was released in updated in 2015, so it's a few years out of date now, but it was their approach from 2010 to 2015 about elite sports performance. What they discussed in this information, and this is what I mean by, you know, forming your opinion of how they view elite sport and how they're going to approach it. So they're looking at this time, they're looking to fund UK sport, help elite athletes achieve their potential. Remember, this encompasses, these years encompass 2012, which was the London Olympics, which was the most successful Olympics ever up to that point. You know, they went from 10th place, there's a fact here, rose from 10th place, 28 medals in Sydney, to 3rd place and 65 medals at London 2012. So big, you know, it clearly works what they did in the build-up to the London Olympics. Paralympics as well as mentioned. Funding, so the amount of funding that's mentioned, so there's a lot of money that goes into it. So these are all kind of little things that you can make notes of. And here are some key terms mentioned. The World Class Performance Program. If I flip to the specification, and you can see on here the things that you've got to look at here. You know, status of elite sport, professional approach, policies, government initiatives, political views, importance of Olympic success, you know, funding for excellence, administration, structure, and organisation support. That's the kind of things that you're asked to know about. But when you look at the mark schemes, let's close that again, and I go back to, how do I get rid of this from my screen? Okay. I go back to this mark scheme. You can see things here mentioned, world-class programs. Okay, all these terms here, you're looking at under each thing, looking at searching for these key terms. Like I included a link about Wikipedia, for example, from the Wikipedia link about specialist sports colleges. Tick that one up. Training venues, you know, provision. So looking at training venues, well, this is another website, Centres of Excellence. UK Sports Centres of Excellence. Put into Google there, and this is the information that comes out. Okay, and that leads me to the EIS, the English Institute of Sport. I click on there to find out a bit more about them. What are they? This is how I find out about the organisation. This is the research task, and this is what you should be doing. So when I'm getting comments like, oh, I can't find any information, well, that's crap, because there's tons of information. That's why I focus on the UK, because I know there's so much information there, and it's so well structured that it's all there for you to find. High performance centres, information's there. You know, 8 high performance centres across England. That goes into your notes. There are 8 high performance centres across England. High quality facilities specifically designed for elite athletes. Then I click on like, all right, well, what is the EIS? What do they do? Okay, find out, provides support services to British Olympic and Paralympic sports, enabling sports and athletes to realise potential and achieve excellence. What do we do? So all of this information is there. Look at the different sports they cover and what they are doing. So there's funding information there. Click on funding, see what it says about funding. And I just make some little notes, because what I want to be able to do is when I have an exam question about that is supply a bit of information that, you know, I know, a bit of research that I've done. And here we go. So blah, 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 all that, a load of information about funding. There's a mention, this bloody thing keeps coming up on my screen. Okay, let's go back up here. There is a mention here about structure, there's talent ID mentioned somewhere. Okay, maybe not in this one, but I mean, selection procedures. One thing about talent identification is how we identify excellent athletes, how we select them, how we train them. And this is another little Google search. Talent ID Sport UK, I put into Google, and again, comes up with links, Discover Your Goal. This is a government initiative, okay, Discover Your Goal. This is an example of a scheme that is in place, a strategy that's in place that you could name as an example in your exam, as an example of a strategy that's used for a government strategy. Discover Your Goal, how we find the talent. It's all there, athlete success stories, previous. So it's just about reading and making some keynotes about each of these. And the key was to structure according to the MARC scheme. So this is how you find these things out and how you do your research. UK Sport, this is what I said, the organisation at the top of the chain, about us, what they do, funding, our work. You just go through the website and looking for information about what they're doing. Okay, these are the key things. There's coaching mentioned as well. World-class program is there. Discover Your Goal, and so on. All of this information is here. There we go. Going through, you can see about elite program, elite coaching, and so on. And there's a coaching structure. Okay. Foundation. That diagram will go into my notes. A little bit of information about it as well. Let me just go back to the Google thing. Okay. So how do we find the talent? It's, you know, it's mentioned here, talent identification to world-class program. So again, another search, click, read, make some keynotes. How we find the talent. So you can see there, talent identification, that relates now. The same, you've got to, what I need you to do is go on to Dynamic Papers, Extreme Papers, whatever, download all of the paper 11s or 12s, whatever, the AS papers that you can get your hands on, and just look at the questions for question 3 in every paper. Look how often this question comes up, questions about the first bit that we've just been looking at, sport, play, outdoor recreation, physical education, all those kind of things, comes up always. And then how often it comes up about questions like this. Look at the MARC schemes, use the MARC schemes as a way of developing notes. It's a research task. This is what I said to someone in a reply, that this is the skill you're required to have in the future. When you go to uni in the future and in jobs, you need to find things out, you need to be able to research and find this information and compile it. Okay, so we've got that one. This keeps coming up. Okay, funding it. So back to here. So using those sites that, you know, and they were just starting sites. If you see something here, right, it's saying about provision, we're talking about the UK, selections procedures. So talent identification, selection for elite sport, just type these things into Google and see what comes up. More often than not, it'll be a link to UK Sport or Sport England. Let me just show you what Sport England is. Building an active nation. So you can see here, this is where it's targeted at everybody in the nation to be active, raise participation levels and so on. And then again, the information, why we're here and so on, funding opportunities, all of that will be in there. Just takes a little bit of sifting through, looking for things that relate to that syllabus, okay? Inactive people, health, condition, gender. So the topic, basically, Sport England are targeting all of the population, trying to break down barriers within cultural groups, trying to target everybody, especially inactive people, all gender, children, young people, people with health conditions, probably that includes disabilities as well, and all income groups, to make sure everyone's got the opportunity to participate. So there's a lot of focus on that. This Girl Can, that's another example of a gender-specific strategy to encourage women and girls to get involved in sport. There's a big drop-off in girls' participation from the age of about 14, 15, 16. Like they're taking part, and then after that age, they just drop off. They don't stop doing it. Okay, so quite a lot of information there. Right, let me just go back to you guys in a minute. Right. Anyone got any questions about anything there? Is that a bit clearer? Yeah? Has anyone, I've unmuted all of you, so try not to make any noise. But has anyone got any questions?
No.
No, you're good?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, when you've got that, that's how you do that research task. That's why I say, like, when I start getting some, let me just try and mute you all again because some background noise. Yeah, I was saying that some work was coming in really quickly, and I was thinking, you know, this is quite an extensive task. There's a lot of work to do here. Yeah, I know that's why you did China, Danny, because we could have done it in China, we could have done it in the USA, we could have done it in Australia. But from my experience, we've done this in the past, and with the UK, there's so much information and so well structured. The organisations of UK Sport, Sport England, Youth Sports Trust, the information about funding, talent identification, world-class programs, it's all there at your fingertips. It's really clear and straightforward. So all you have to do is take a bit of brief notes about that. Use the MARC schemes to example, just go through those, look at them, and start preparing notes to match those MARC schemes. Someone asked me, I think it was Oscar, asked yesterday, he's not here at the moment, about the exams again. Yeah, we still haven't heard anything. Cambridge have been in contact with the school, but I think that it was to say that they still haven't sorted it out. Okay, they still haven't got something in place yet. So we've just got to keep waiting. But yeah, Massimo, let me just come to you. Okay.
It's because they're saying that if we go to school, we'll do the exams anyways, which I understand. But what if we don't get to go to school back?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why I'm saying nothing at the moment. If we don't go back to school, we can't do those exams. It's either that if we end up going back to school within the near future, you'll probably still sit those exams, and they'll be assessed within school probably. Okay, but that's just a possibility. There's nothing confirmed. Yeah. Massimo?
If we get to go to school, imagine like 2 or 3 weeks within the school ending, would we have to sit the exams anyways?
No idea. I can't say anything until it's actually finalised and we hear from school. We've heard nothing yet. We're still waiting. But whatever way it'll be done in the best interest for you guys. And that's why it's important to keep focused and keep working as well. Right, Danny?
Yeah, sir, because the government said we're not coming back to school until June or May.
Yeah, the Spanish government, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's for Spanish schools, though. That's for the state schools. So private schools operate slightly different. We're not under that umbrella, but we're advised to follow the Spanish government advice. So while we're on lockdown, we won't be going back to school. That's till 11th of April or something at the moment. I reckon it'll be extended to at least May. So yeah, we'll just see how this pans out. It's a bit of a nightmare for everyone, and it's hard for us as well as you guys. It's not ideal, but we'll just see what pans out and what information we get. All right. Okay. Any other questions? No. Well, get cracking on that now. You've seen the websites. I've got how I showed you how I navigate around a little bit. So that should be a little bit more clearer. And you just have to kind of take brief notes that enables you to answer the exam question and give examples of how the structure is in the UK. So that's what you're going to try and do in your notes. Take that kind of the MARC schemes and instruction notes to match that, and all the information's on those websites. If you're still stuck or anything like that, we'll go through it again on Monday and prepare something for Monday. All right. Okay. So apart from that, enjoy your weekend. the things told me we're about to cut off the meeting. So enjoy your weekend, and I'll speak to you next week. Okay? See you later, guys.